I came to tell somebody today, you've been walking around heavy worried, thinking that life has passed you by. But I want you to shift your spirit, shift your posture, and act as if you are the luckiest person in the world. Because when you change how you act, you change how you think. And when you change how you think, you change what you attract. The enemy wants you to walk in defeat, but heaven has already declared victory over your life. You are standing here today with breath in your body, strength in your bones, vision in your spirit. That's not luck, that's divine alignment. Key 1, expanded. Gratitude is the key to abundance. Gratitude is not just a polite thank you. It is a force, a spiritual magnet that draws abundance into your life. When you begin to live as if you are the luckiest person in the world, you don't wait until everything looks perfect before you give thanks. You start right where you are. You look at what others call small, and you see it as supernatural. See, gratitude shifts your perspective. It takes the little and makes it much. It takes the ordinary and reveals it as extraordinary. Some people call it luck, but what they are really witnessing is the power of Thanksgiving opening doors that were once shut. Gratitude multiplies what you have. Just like the 5 loaves and 2 fish in the master's hands, when you give thanks for what seems too small, it begins to stretch, it begins to grow, it begins to feed more than you could imagine. The enemy wants you focused on what's missing, on the money you don't have, the opportunities you didn't get, the relationships that walked away. But gratitude says, I may not have everything, but I have something. And what I have is enough for God to use. When you live like that, you walk in abundance, even before it shows up in your bank account, even before it shows up in your promotion, even before it's housed up in your healing. Gratitude opens your eyes to see blessings you used to overlook. The bed you sleep on, the breath in your lungs, the peace in your mind. These are treasures. People spend fortunes trying to buy what you already have for free. And when you start valuing what you've been given, you will begin to attract more, because heaven responds to a thankful heart. If you want to act as if you are the luckiest person in the world, start with gratitude. Wake up in the morning with a praise on your lips. Walk through the day whispering thank you for the little things. Lay your head down at night counting blessings, not burdens. Gratitude is not just the key to abundance, it is the lifestyle of the blessed, the favored, the chosen. Faith is not just belief, it is movement. It is the decision to act like the promise is already fulfilled, even while the evidence is still hidden. Faith walks into the room before the blessing arrives. Faith sits at the table before the feast is served. Faith stands on the battlefield before the victory trumpet sounds. You see, favor doesn't just fall on people who wait passively. Favor is attracted to faith. When you step out, when you take the risk, when you move in obedience, even though you don't have the full picture, favor shows up. Faith is the currency of heaven, and when you spend it, the vaults of heaven open wide. Some of you have been waiting for doors to open, but you haven't yet turned the handle. Faith is the hand that turns the knob. Favor is what meets you on the other side. Faith says, I don't see it yet, but I'm going to walk like it's mine. And when you walk like it's yours, life bends, circumstances shift, opportunities align. The world will call it luck. They'll say, you're just in the right place at the right time. But they don't know you were walking by faith all along. They don't know you yet when nobody else heard. They don't know you believed when the odds said give up. Faith is the unseen labor that produces visible favor. And here's the truth. Favor doesn't always look like a spoke. Perspective is the paintbrush of your soul. It colors how you see life, and how you see life determines how you live life. 2 people can go through the same storm. One comes out bitter, the other comes out better. The difference is not the storm, the difference is perspective. When you act as if you are the luckiest person in the world, you choose to look at the same reality through a different lens. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, you declare, something is still working for my good. Instead of seeing a closed door, you say, that must not have been my door. Instead of crying over what you lost, you lift your hands and say, if it left me, it wasn't mine to keep. Perspective is powerful because it transforms pain into purpose. It doesn't deny reality, it redefines it. You may have gone through betrayal, heartbreak, loss, or failure, but when your perspective shifts, those things stop being weights and start being wings. What was meant to break you becomes the very thing that builds you. Don't miss this. Your situation may not change immediately, but your perspective can change instantly. And when your perspective changes, you find strength where you thought you had none. You find hope where you thought it was gone. You find light shining in the dark places. The enemy wants you to magnify the problem, to stare at the mountain until it feels impossible. But faith-filled perspective says, if I speak to this mountain, it must move. Perspective reminds you that giants look big until you remember who's standing with you. Perspective says, I may be in the valley, but I'm walking with the shepherd. That's why the luckiest people in the world are not the ones who escape hardship. They are the ones who choose how to see it. They see opportunity where others see obstacles. They see lessons where others see loss. They see growth where others see grief. So today, why shift your perspective? Stop rehearsing your pain and start releasing your praise. Stop counting your failures and start counting your blessings, because once your perspective changes, your whole life changes. You will begin to walk, talk, and live like the world itself is conspiring to bless you. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every time you open your mouth, you are planting something in the soil of your future. The reason many people don't see breakthrough is because their tongue is working against their destiny. They keep speaking defeat, they keep declaring fear, they keep rehearsing failure, and then they wonder why their harvest looks like struggle. But the luckiest people in the world, the ones who seem to walk in favor everywhere they go, understand this principle. Speak as if blessings are chasing you. Speak like the goodness of God is already tracking your steps. Speak like doors are opening even before you knock. Speak like healing is already in your body, provision is already on the way, and opportunities are already circling your name. Don't you know the power of life and death is in the tongue? Your mouth is a weapon. You can curse your tomorrow or you can bless it. You can talk yourself into despair or you can talk yourself into destiny. The world may call it positive thinking, but we know better. This is spiritual law. What you speak sets the atmosphere around you. The enemy wants you to silence your voice or fill it with negativity. He knows that if you ever start declaring victory, if you ever start calling yourself blessed, if you ever start decreeing that favor is yours, he can't stop what's coming. Because your words don't just describe your world, they shape your world. Imagine this. What if every time you opened your mouth, blessings came running like children hearing their name? What if favor started chasing you because your words kept calling it? What if increase started following you because you spoke like it was already yours? That's not fantasy, that's faith in action. Stop saying, nothing ever works for sure. The luckiest people in the world don't wait until everything is perfect before they shout. They don't wait until they're standing on the mountain before they lift their hands. They don't wait until the big breakthrough comes before they open their mouth in gratitude. No, they celebrate small victories because they understand that little victories are the building blocks of greater blessings. Too many of us overlook the small wins, rushing past them because they don't look like the dream we're chasing. We want the promotion, but we miss the fact that God gave us the interview. We want the house, but we overlook the fact that God gave us the down payment. We want the healing, but we don't rejoice that today we woke up with less pain than yesterday. But hear me. If you don't learn to praise over the small, you'll never be ready to handle the great. Gratitude over small victories expands your capacity. It trains your spirit to handle abundance. It keeps your heart humble and your eyes open. Do you remember David? Before he killed Goliath, he celebrated killing a lion and a bear. Those small victories were preparing him for the giant. If he had ignored them, if he had despised them, he wouldn't have had the confidence to face the battlefield. The same is true for you. Every small win in your life is proof that a bigger victory is on the way. The enemy wants you to despise small beginnings. He wants you to believe that little doesn't matter. But the truth is, every small victory is a signpost that you're moving forward. It's a whisper from heaven saying, I'm not done with you yet. Greater is coming. So celebrate the little steps. Celebrate waking up this morning with strength. Celebrate the bill that got paid. Celebrate the unexpected kindness you receive. Celebrate the progress, even if it feels small. Because when you shout over the small, you are prophesying over to He great. You are not waiting to be lucky. You are already walking in blessing. And when you learn to see every small victory as a divine gift, you will live with joy, expectation, and strength. The luckiest people are not the ones who have everything. They are the ones who know how to celebrate something. Expectation is the posture of the blessed. It's the way you walk when you know something good is coming, even if you can't see it yet. It's the way you carry yourself when your spirit whispers, any day now, something is about to break. See, the way you carry yourself tells the world what you believe about yourself. If you slump your shoulders, drag your feet, and speak defeat, you're signaling that you expect nothing. But when you square your shoulders, lift your head, and walk with confidence, you're declaring, I am chosen, I am favored, and my breakthrough is on the way. The luckiest people in the world don't wait for the blessing to arrive before they change their posture. They carry themselves as if the blessing is already here. They don't wait until they get the job to act like they belong in the boardroom. They don't wait until the healing manifests to praise God for their health. They don't wait until the door opens to prepare for what's on the other side. Expectation is a magnet. It pulls opportunities, favor, and divine connections into your life. When you expect good things, you see them. When you expect doors, you find them. When you expect favor, it follows you like a shadow. Think about it. If a farmer plants seeds but never expects a harvest, he won't water, he won't till the ground, he won't prepare for increase. But the farmer who expects rain prepares the soil. The farmer who expects a harvest builds a bigger barn. Expectation is faith in action. It makes you live like the answer is already on the way. This is why the enemy tries to attack your expectation. He wants you to lower your standards, to settle for less, to believe that nothing good is coming. Because if he can kill your expectation, he can rob your manifestation. But fear is the thief of destiny. Fear whispers in your ear, what if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if it all falls apart? And if you listen too long, you'll never step out of the boat. You'll never take the shot. You'll never walk into the land that God has promised you. But the luckiest people in the world, the ones who seem to always land on their feet, are not those who never feel fear. No, they are the ones who shift from fear to possibility. They hear the what if it fails, but they answer back, what if it works? They hear the what if I lose, but they counter with what if I win? They hear the what if I'm not enough, but they declare, what if I already have everything I need inside me? Fear magnifies problems, but possibility magnifies potential. Fear builds walls, but possibility builds doors. Fear looks at the giants and says, they're too big to fight. Possibility looks at the same giants and says, they're too big to miss. Understand this. Fear is natural, but possibility is supernatural. Fear paralyzes, but possibility energizes. Fear will lock you in the prison of excuses, but possibility will set you free into the fields of opportunity. The enemy wants you stuck in fear because he knows that your possibility is dangerous. He knows that if you ever stop asking, what if it goes wrong, and start asking, what if it goes right, you will walk into breakthroughs, businesses, relationships, and callings that he cannot stop. So I dare you, shift your perspective. Stop bowing to fear and start leaning into possibility. Stop letting your what if hold you hostage and start letting it open doors. Stop rehearsing defeat and start rehearsing destiny. Because when you live in possibility, you start walking like the future belongs to you. You start talking like the world is conspiring to bless you. You stop living as a prisoner of fear and start living as a child of promise. Shift from fear to possibility and watch your life open up in ways you never dreamed. The luckiest people in the world don't just keep the blessing to themselves, they live as a blessing to others. They understand that real favor is not selfish. Real favor overflows. Real favor spills onto everyone connected to you. Hear me, if all you ever do is collect blessings but never release them, you become a reservoir that eventually dries up. But when you pour into others, when you give encouragement, when you share resources, when you lift someone else up, you turn from a reservoir into a river, and a river never runs dry. That's why some people stay stuck. They hoard what heaven gave them. They think the blessing is only for their house, their pocket, their name. But the luckiest people, the ones who seem to always increase, are the ones who say, if God blessed me, I'm going to be a blessing to you. If he opened a door for me, I'll hold it open for you. If he gave me wisdom, I'll pour it into you. Don't you know that generosity is the proof of gratitude? Don't you know that when you pour out, heaven pours back in? It's a cycle. Give, and it shall be given. Bless, and you shall be blessed. Sow, and you shall reap. You can't beat God's system of overflow. Look at your life. Every time you helped someone, every time you encouraged a weary soul, every time you sowed into somebody's dream, you didn't lose. You gained. You gained joy. You gained peace. You gained relationships, and you made room for more blessings to flow your way. The enemy wants you to think luck is about selfish gain, but true luck, true blessing, true favor is about being positioned as a vessel. The more you pour, the more God can trust you with. The more you bless, the more he will bless you to bless again. So don't just act lucky. Become a blessing. Be the reason Eon smiles again. Be the reason someone believes again. Be the reason someone gets up again. Because the luckiest people in the world are not the ones who have the most. They are the ones who give the